take out question. So we'll move with the impairment of the CGU now. Take out question number 12. Now, Earth Infra has got two CGUs, X and Y. There is no goodwill within the unit's carrying amount. So, in this carrying amount, there is no goodwill sitting, and the carrying values of A is 20 and B is 30. Now, what is this carrying value of A means? That means that A has got so many sub assets, plant and machinery, furniture, equipment, fan, tube light. Cumulatively, its book value is 20. Now, does it has got any allocated goodwill? No, which they said it does not include any goodwill. The company has got an office building which it is using as an office headquarter, and that also has been not included in the above value and can be allocated to the units on the basis of their carrying values. Okay, but without that head office they can't operate, so they should be allocated. The office building's value is 10. Recoverable amount is based on the value in use, 18 million for A. That means group as a whole, CGU will earn 18. Recoverable amount only they told you. They didn't tell you value in use, fair value, whichever is high. They didn't tell you. Straight away, recoverable amount. Nice. And 38. Whether the carrying value of A and B to be impaired. Should we check impairment for A and B? Yes, we will try that. First, write solution. There is no goodwill here, so you need not speak about allocation of the goodwill. But the corporate assets to be allocated on reasonable and consistent basis. So, one you start with explaining that corporate assets and the assets should be allocated on reasonable and consistent basis. This is like a note. Even though you would not have given, fine, I am okay. Oh no, this is determine. Determine means I need to tell exactly certain important thing, adjustments, what I need to do. Okay, right? Calculation of impairment. I will have two CGUs right now. So, I will write A and B. If it was only one asset, I had only one column till now. If it is one CGU, I will have only one column, but I have got a two CGU. So, what is the book value of CGU? This is the first step. That means individual assets book value together, how much? 20, 30. Should I allocate building, head of office? Yes. So, add allocation of HO, head office. Can you tell me, students, how much is the book value of HO? 10. How much I can allocate to A? 4. Very clear. It is 10 into 2 by 5 plus 10 into 3 by 5 or 10 into 3 by 5, not plus. So, you will allocate 4 and 6. So, what is your book value? 24 and 36 less. What is your recoverable amount for A? 18. Now, group of assets together can earn 18. How much B? 8. Do you have any impairment in A? Yes. How much? 6. For B, you don't have any impairment. Now, what accounting entry I should pass for this 6? Impairment expense account debit to HO to CGU. Is there any ledger account called CGU? No, CGU is made up of individual assets. Now, in that individual assets, try to figure out how to allocate that, whatever you allocate to CGU. Now, can you tell me, students, how much I may have to allocate to head office and how much I need to allocate to CGU? Just tell me the amount. How much I need to give to whom one? HO. How did you get this? Yeah, simple, no. That's why it's a very simple thing. Who told difficult? So, right, impairment of 6 million will be allocated to HO 4 by 24, 1 million, 20 by 24, 5 million. So, your accounting entry will be impairment to HO 2. Again, this 5, you have to check which asset. If you don't know, then that 20 is made up of certain group of assets, no? In that proportionate value, distribute to everyone. Plant and equipment, machinery, whatever it is, and write it off. Okay, so then finish. With this, we are done. They didn't ask you, but can you tell me what is the revised book value of building? CGU A, CGU B, 9. Of 19, 25. Question is clear? No. Question. Now, I want the revised book value, which you have been doing right from the beginning. No, every time you impair, you calculate the revised book value. What is my revised book value of 3 assets? Is this 9 correct? What is A? 15. 15, because Arey Baba, you charge 5 impairment, no. And for C, B, you have got nil. So B, where is impairment for B? Same. So there is no allocation to office building coming from B. If B also had an impairment, no, you need not do this. They didn't ask you. If B also made a loss, you would have shifted some loss to office building, proportionate. How much you allocated? Yeah, please ask me. I want to be open for your questions. Sorry? Recoverable amount is? No problem. No, it is always more than the book value. Recoverable amount of CGU should not be less than the book value. If the recoverable amount is more than the book value, well and good, right? That is what we wanted. At any point of time, the carrying amount should not be more than the book recoverable amount. That is impairment. Sorry? At that time, did you had any allocation for other assets? No. That's why that logic will work like that. The moment you allocate, should you not give them back? Or will you only take your allocation part? No, you have to give back one impairment also, no? See, till now what we did was an individual asset. It worked with a different logic. Yeah. I need not be, Papa. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Previously, our one logic was there. After impairment, the recoverable amount was the revised book value. But that logic doesn't work here because this asset had no recoverable amount, but book value you added here and one portion of impairment came and the difference is 1 rupees for you, correct? 1 rupees that impairment amount which you gave to them, no. If entire 6 you would have allocated only to A, then your logic would have been correct. See, previously, what you used to do, what is your recoverable amount? 18. Now, after impairment, you are telling me that this should have been the 18 should have been the book value. Let us go back to the previous working. So, after allocation, but how much you allocated? 4. It cannot happen, no, because you allocated 4. Did entire 4 got impaired? No, recoverable amount is 18. So, out of 6, proportionately something you will give to them, no. So, that logic doesn't hold good here. When you allocate any asset, see, okay, tomorrow, this is okay, Baba. Tomorrow we will get goodwill. When goodwill comes, will you sit and apply that logic that my recoverable amount should have been the book value, revised book value? Not possible, no. This will work only if there is no allocation. Okay, let us assume, what if there was no allocation? 20, 20, 18, how much is the impairment? If this is, no allocation would have been there, this would have been 20. What is the impairment? 2. And 2, if you deduct it from the book value, 18 would have been your carrying amount. But since you allocated 4, your book value got increased. So that's why what you get now, and your allocation and all happens. So what you get after allocation, this will not match with your recoverable amount because of the allocation portion. Sorry? Head office carrying amount will come to? Now means when? After impairment. 3 plus 15 comes to 18. Okay, 3 plus 8, that's the difference, that 3 rupees, no? Anyhow, good. You think more, I am also very happy because I also never thought about all this thing in my past 6 years. Yeah, we got one reconciliation also, no? We only asked a question, we only found, means not me, you only asked question, you only found the answer. Very good. I am also enriched because of this. Yes, that difference is going forward. If anybody asks me this question, no, so this recoverable amount is not matching, first I'll say, can you tell me the answer? Then you don't know, no, see, it goes like this. This you again apportion, you get that difference. Very nice. Okay, we'll proceed further. Yes. We'll go to question number 13. XYZ Limited has a CGU A having the book value 1000 crores. Plant A was acquired on a business combination, and this time goodwill 200, some goodwill came. Out of that goodwill, 200 got allocated to this plant A. Plant, okay, it is plant, it is not a company, it is not a subsidiary, it is a group of assets. No, it is separate. That's why plant A was acquired and a goodwill of allocated to it. We'll assume to be separate. It is not same. Now, it depreciated on the straight line basis. Plant has got a life of 10 years. On 31st March 2012, it has recoverable amount is 600 crores. What is the impairment loss of plant A? Also prescribe its allocation as per 36. Okay, so we'll straight away calculate because they asked me to calculate. See, you can change the format as per your wish. Okay, I can present it like this also. What is the book value of CGU? $1,000. Add. How much should I add goodwill? 200. Just like if it was an HO, I would have given proportionate. If it's a goodwill, because this goodwill, see, HO, we have to allocate it on the proportionate book value, but goodwill in every single question, they only will tell you how much to be allocated. Because based on book value and all, we will not get into that exercise. If it was a building, which could have been, we have used one, there is a building in the previous question. We are adding an assumption because see, again, for example, simple, my house, should it be part of the CGU? Then where do I, on the floor, road I'll sleep or what? I will argue, no, Baba, see, I have spent some money on my house also. Then you will also argue, sir, this house you are using for long personal purpose also. Okay, take 20% of this, no? When you are trying to impair this fan, take 20% of my house also. 20%, 40% of my scooter. So that's why it goes with the business. That's why you need to have a practical understanding of the business. Really what earns cash. Otherwise, I'll try to fool you, telling my father-in-law's house is also there. Then you'll argue, sir, to earn this cash flow in the classroom, is your father-in-law's house is important? No, that's a common sense. So plus HOS can come here also. Followed, no? That's why we take proportionate. Generally, for simplicity's sake, we'll go with the book value. In real life, we may assume 10%. That's why what note we wrote? Reasonable and consistent. That is the standard doesn't speak. What is that reasonable? That's the judgment, which should be supported by auditor. Auditor should say, yes, Baba, your judgment is correct. If auditor comes with a different conclusion, no, then qualification is going to come in the audit report. Followed, no? Yes. We can assume, obviously, we can definitely assume, but we will give priority to study material assumption. They are assuming it is different. Which one? Yeah, we have added overheads there. Yeah, need not be plants overhead we could have added, no? Yeah. Again, see, again, it's they have got a mercy on us. That's why they are giving simple problems like this. Complication, they can really, one problem is sufficient. I have worked knowing this. I am telling you, it's a full-time profile for one person. Full-day job, full-time job. Sit and do the impairment calculation. And now it will go to months doing this exercise in real life. Here simple. You understand the principle. Okay, is there an HO? No. So how much is my book value of the CGU with the goodwill? Wait. I missed, I think. Yeah. It is on the 1st of April. I am sorry, students. This is on 1st of April. When I am impairing? 31st March. So what is my CGU's book value on 31st March? So 1000 minus 100, because it is 10-year life. So it is 900, correct? I missed it. I am sorry. So 1100 is the book value. It is 900 because 1000 was at the beginning of the year. Minus 100 is the depreciation for the year. I will add a goodwill. I will get the impairment of, book value of 100. Minus, what is your recoverable amount? 600. Straight away given. See, maybe this question they can trick it by giving calculation of value in use, foreign exchange assets. Plug and play. You should be able to do it. What is my impairment? 500. Okay, I have done it here. We can do it in single column. Just for the presentation sake, I have done it here separately. It's a waste of time. You just focus on the last column. Followed, no? Now goes for the allocation. Right, heading second, allocation. Whom you will allocate? First, write the heading. First thing, impairment is first allocated to goodwill and then to CGU. So how much you will give? What is the book value of the goodwill? 200. CGU 900 minus impairment. How much? 200 full and 300 balancing figure. So nothing. See, this is the difference between a corporate asset allocation and a goodwill allocation. If the corporate asset was there here, first you allocate to the goodwill. 300 you got. This 300 you will distribute between HO asset and the CGU. If at all corporate HO also there here, what you would have done? First you kill goodwill. 300 is there, no? This you distribute between HO and the other CGUs. Are you clear? Simple, no? Sitting in your mind, right? See, we are already in the, out of 25 problems, we are on the 14th problem. I told you, no? Done. In few time, this chapter will be done. ABC has got 3 CGU, ABC, carrying amount of which they have given you A, B and C. And they have told you remaining life also, please be careful, 31st March 2011. This time I will add more CGUs. One level will go. Next, they told there are 2 corporate assets whose life is 20 years. And they have given you the book value 600 and 200. And out of this they said, look, 600 is something you can allocate on a reasonable basis to A, B and C. But Y is something like a research or something which you cannot allocate to individual CGU. That means 600 I can distribute between 3. 200 I cannot do it. But 200 also I have to impair. At what level? Company level. I will tell you what it is. Later we will do. Now what is the recoverable amount of individual assets at the end, at the beginning or end, at the same time they have given you? ABC they have given you. And they have given you ABC Limited as a whole also. Why? Because one of the asset you could not add at the CGU level. Take it at the company level and check whether there is an impairment. Now, what is the impairment loss? Ignore decimals. Now, one of the rule is before we calculate impairment, is there any impairment at the individual CGU level? This is the CGU Sadhana. Are individual CGU any impairment is there? What is the book value of the individual CGU? 500, 750, 1100. 500, 750, 1100. Individually not there. Okay, straight away we'll write solution. Book value of X is allocated on reasonable basis. So this is the note we will write every time whenever we come across HO. How? What is my reasonable basis? Can you tell me? Huh? Yeah, which proportionate? Which proportion? Can you tell me the question? Look at the question and tell me the ratio. Okay, but if you see the life of the asset, that life of 500 is only 10 years, no? So what you should do, life weighted book value. Otherwise it becomes meaningless. Now for something small, life is small. You may assume some small amount. So you should reasonably, that's what they said, reasonable. It all goes with the assumptions, it goes with the circumstance. So a weighted allocation shall be used because each has got a different life. Each of the CGU has got a different life. Also, test at company as a whole. Why? Because why you cannot allocate. Yes. So, first you write this theory. You do this, do this, do this. You have explained it. What you need to write. Are you clear? Yes. Any doubts? Yeah, please. Why weighted? Yeah, because see, again, the standard is just tells you, you allocate on the reasonable and consistent basis. See, there is one asset with only 10-year life and other two assets are with the 20 years life. If you simply allocate it on the based on the book value, see, life part you will not consider. It is something like simple average and a weighted average. Which one is preferred? That's it. If weighted average you cannot calculate, beta, simple. Beta, if portfolio beta, if I have to calculate, you can just add 4 beta and divide it by 4, no. Alternatively, I will go with the weight. Now, given a choice, what someone should choose? Weighted. So, what somebody could have told me, so do it on the same book value. I can do that. But if you have got a weighted, that will really get some weight because that's better from the perspective of the society or whatever, investors. They appreciate it better. Followed, no? Yes. Now, first working note number 1, calculation of weight. Because we are going to life weighted. So, weighted carrying amount of A, how much? 500 into 10, 5000. Just multiply book value with the life. B, 750 into 20, 15,000. And C, 1100 into 20. See, this is one methodology which the ICA is suggesting. Alternatively, somebody could have done in some other manner. It is all subject matter of assumption. So, you will let us stick to this method. And this question came in this examination, again it repeated. In both the suggestion and answer, they have taken this. So, why we should invent some new methodology to distribute? We can do it. We can do it. I am telling you, we can do it. That is also fine. How much you get? 500 into 2. 1000, 750. No. No, understood. Alternate that assumption also could have been taken because your life for 700 you have got only for 10 years. This thing for how many years? Okay. But see, my point is, when institute has taken certain assumptions, let us focus on that now. If we are given a choice, yes, we could have, each student could have done it a different way. So the ratio will be 5 by 42 is to 15 by 42 is to 22 by 42. So have you understood one methodology of weighted allocation? Yes, so since we have got more than, so this is the way we calculate the weights. Always do this working, any question coming on this. So since impairment is there, there are more CGU. Have we not done these more columns? So I will write A, B, C. Yeah, X not required. X I don't impair on individual basis, no. So what is my book value of A? 500, 750, 1100. Add HO. How much I will allocate to 5A? 72. They said no, round off. Okay, 72, or you can could have written 71 also. 216, 312. See, you understood the methodology, fine. Unless the question tells you something, they simply say to round off, that's it. So how much is your book value now? 572, 966, 1412. Minus individual recoverable amount will be 600, 900, 1004. See, all this information they only give. That's why I am not asking you. If it has to be calculated, I would have asked you and filled this number. So I see that there are only 2 assets which has got impact. See, previously we worked with 2 CGU, out of which one was impaired, one didn't get impaired. This time I have got 2 CGUs got impaired out of 3. So for this, 2 allocations will go. Previously it was only 1. Understood? Are you clear? Now we write heading, second heading, allocation. How much you will allocate to X, A, and sorry, B and C, because A didn't get impaired, no. So impairment of B, how much out of B you are going to give? Now you tell me. B made an impairment, how much? 66. Out of 66, how much you are going to give to X? 15. 29. Okay, first of all, B made an impairment of how much? 66. On what basis I should distribute? Book value. What is the book value of X? Arey Baba, 600 is for all people, no. Out of 600, how much you give to B into, you give only 216. Including 216, how much is total? 966. So how much you should give to X? 15. How much you will give to B? Simple, 66 minus 15. Or you should do again one more calculation. 51. Otherwise you do the same thing. 66 into 9, whatever, 556 minus divided by 966. So how much is impairment of C? You will give to X. Now it is very easy. You understood the logic. That's why understand the catch point. You may make mistake here at this point. If you make mistake here, bound that you will make mistake in allocation of C also. If you don't make mistake here in this X, this is the catch, slippery area. Highlight it, mark it. If you don't make mistake here, yes, perfectly you will get how much? My all guesses went wrong. I thought no mistake will happen here. Yes, how much? 4, 10, 3, 3. Yes, how much here? Vishnupriya? 3. Yes, it is 3. And the balancing figure will go to, understand, Baba? Just learn. See, this value should come not from the 600 out of this. Clear? It should come from what is got allocated. Yes, done. We have calculated impairment. Simple, Baba. There is nothing here. If you ask me, consultation you ask me, I agree. Revenue recognition, I agree. Here what? Child's play, no? Okay, next is impairment of a company as a whole. So when it comes to company as a whole, like I have got A, B, C, X, Y, A, B, C. So many columns. Because individually something got impaired. I'll check at a company as a whole now. So what is their carrying amount? 500, 750, 1100, 600, 200. Is it matching? May match, may not match. 500 plus 750 plus 1100 plus 600 plus 200. Yeah, it matched. But don't worry, even though it doesn't match. All these individual values total, if it doesn't match also, don't worry. Just write what they have given. Yes, clear, no? Yes, everyone? What we are doing till now, why we are doing, very importantly. That's more important. Otherwise, it becomes a formality, like format. Simply writing there. And what all numbers will take and multiply with what all numbers. If I understood this meaning, perfect. What should I do next? No, this individual values I was trying to add and see whether it is matching here. 3000. That what value, Baba? It is recoverable amount. No, what I am asking here, if what I am supposed to do, company as a whole, I am okay. So this number I only calculated. I am sorry. I thought it is already given there. Because generally, see, if I had to write written, I would have thought it's the press of a button. No, it came. I thought it must have been there already. So I always start. See, now whom I should impair now? CGO? No, I should impair company as a whole. What is the book value of a company as a whole? 3150. How? Individual values. Alternatively, I could have done it like this also. Scrap all these things. Say carrying amount of the business as a whole. Is there any impairment happened? How much? 78. There are only 2 CGUs got impaired, no? Okay, we can change this format. Huh? Even I will change if it's confusing. I can write in the bracket here these numbers instead of telling, because I don't need this. And I'm looking at the company as a whole. Why do I need the breakup? So in the bracket I will write 500, 750, 1100, 600, 200. I will change this format. While practicing also you change it. What is the impairment? B and C only, 78. How much is the book value? 3072. Less, what is recoverable amount? 200. Is there an impairment? Nil. So, nil. No. Since at a company level as a whole, since there is no impairment, Y has got no impairment. Have you understood? So, what I suggest, students, instead of this ABC breakup, in bracket we can write 500 plus 750 plus 1100, 600 plus this unallocable 200. Why we need to give this allocate? Because already 51, 9 and 18 we have already allocated. And did they ask me new carrying amount? No. Why I should feed this information? And I say at the company level as a whole there is no impairment. First, if there is a, if any, see again, in exam also they didn't ask you. If at all any impairment would have come, what you would have done? This entire impairment you would have distributed to all the people. All no, because this company as a whole, company includes not only wine, right? See, first thing is, it goes like this. If at all there was any impairment, You would have distributed to all these people, not these people, because they got impaired. Which one? Yeah, after impairment 582. But if again at a company level one more impairment is there, again distribution is going to happen minus impairment. This becomes a new book value of all the assets. Now that's what we did. That's what I told you theory also. First you do at a CGU level, then go to the bigger CGU level, then you go to the bigger CGU level. Ultimately you go to the company as a whole, then come backwards. And if at all in this process goodwill was there, first at whatever stage you kill that goodwill first. The moment you combine the CGUs. See, again, I'll give you an example. You have got A, B, C. First question comes, can you allocate goodwill to this CGU A? If CGU A is nothing but goodwill plus book value, then when you impair A, first you kill goodwill allocated to A. No sir, I cannot allocate individual to ABC. Then do one thing. Goodwill here. First check, is A impaired? First kill that, give that impairment to A, and then take all, allocate to goodwill. It goes like this. We have to check. First we have to check at the individual levels. If when you check individual level, if at all you have allocated goodwill also at individual level, first you whatever allocated to goodwill for this C only, first you would kill that. But C, goodwill you didn't allocate at individual level. You don't know how to allocate. But C got impaired. First you allocate impairment C to C only. Then take all these things together, because now who is your CGU? See, first of all, I have got CGU A, B, C. If you can allocate goodwill to individually C, then individually you impair it, kill goodwill first what is allocated. But if you can't allocate, whom you added goodwill to? A, B, C as a whole. So how many CGUs are there now? One CGU. What is the name of the CGU? ABC. So first you should check, can I add goodwill to individual CGU? No. Then do it at the individual CGU level only, kill that proportionate goodwill. No, then keep goodwill here. First you kill this individual CGU impairment, take all this CGU as one CGU, allocate the goodwill, then kill this goodwill first and then allocate the balance. In this question, why? So in this question, if at all any impairment was there, first of all, you see one more column, goodwill was there. This impairment you would have killed goodwill, which you could not have killed at the CGU level. Because whatever possible you allocated to goodwill, but still goodwill is strong and living. At the company level you found impairment, first kill that goodwill. After, but would have gone, but still that impairment could be less than the goodwill, no? Whatever, say, if your goodwill value is 1000, your impairment is only 78. So how much it will affect your goodwill even though you allocate? Only 78. So balance will remain. So go to the company level, see if there is an impairment. First you kill this goodwill, then follow the same process everywhere. Are you clear? Anyhow, very good academically. I can see a lot of curiosity, but that much not required here. Means required for you definitely. In examination question, you find very simplicity. Followed, no? Again, in examination question, worst case, if it comes also, do one thing. Whatever you get, just distribute to all this proportionate. And then minus this company level impairment. Just like you minus here individual CGU level impairment, minus company level impairment and calculate the new book value. Okay? Yes, students. So this, please pause the video. I don't want to read this question. Yes, please do pause the video and do this work.